The most famous mission in human history was less than a minute away from becoming the most televised disaster of the 20th century. While millions of people watched the grainy black and white broadcast of the Eagle descending toward the moon, the astronauts inside were staring at a flashing code on their computer display, 1202. It was an executive overflow alarm, meaning the Apollo guidance computer was overloaded with too many tasks at once. The computer was not crashing, it was prioritizing the most critical calculations needed to keep the spacecraft alive. But the computer was not the only problem. As the lunar module dropped closer to the surface, Neil Armstrong looked out the window and saw something the navigation system had missed. The landing site was covered in a massive field of boulders near the edge of West Crater. Landing there could have tipped the spacecraft over or destroyed it. Armstrong immediately took manual control and began flying the spacecraft horizontally across the lunar surface, searching for a safe place to land while the fuel countdown kept dropping. Inside Mission Control, engineers watched the telemetry in total concentration. If the engine stopped for even a moment, the Eagle would fall straight down and crash into the moon. Then the call came. 30 seconds. That was the remaining safe fuel margin before the landing would have to be aborted. Armstrong kept flying as dust began to blow across the lunar surface and visibility dropped to almost nothing. Finally, a flat patch of ground appeared beneath the lander. Contact light. Engines stop. The Eagle had landed. But the hidden glitches were not over yet. NASA later discovered that the 1202 alarms were triggered because the rendezvous radar was sending unnecessary data into the computer during the descent, overloading its processing capacity. The software handled the problem exactly as it was designed to do, dropping lower priority tasks and continuing the landing. And the mission still faced another bizarre problem. While preparing to leave the moon later in the mission, Buzz Aldrin accidentally snapped off a small circuit breaker needed to arm the ascent engine. Without that switch, the astronauts would have been stranded on the lunar surface. Aldrin eventually solved the problem by pushing the broken switch with the tip of a felt pen. The success of Apollo 11 was not just a triumph of engineering. It was a victory over a chain of problems that could easily have ended the mission. We remember the famous words spoken on the moon, but we often forget how close the mission came to disaster before those words were ever spoken. If you just learned something new, subscribe to join Mind Sprints. Which moment of the Apollo 11 landing surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments, and like this video if you respect the incredible skill it took to land on another world.